More than 4 years, the automaker CEO seeming to break ranks with much of corporate America right now, delivering some harsh words about President Trump's tariff plan.
A 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
A 25% tariff was meant to punish China, but it nearly destroyed Ford. Factories shut down, workers laid off, prices skyrocketed, and all of it started in Washington. What happens when a trade war turns into a war on your own people? This is the story of how America First pushed America's oldest automaker to the brink. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we break down the biggest political and economic stories that the mainstream media won't tell you. Today's video dives deep into how President Trump's tariff war didn't just hurt foreign competitors, it hit home hard. We're talking about Ford Motor Company, shutdowns across the Midwest, collapsing supply chains, and the millions of American jobs on the line. If you care about American workers, real economics, and what's actually happening behind the headlines, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. It began as a quiet murmur inside Detroit's factory walls. Nervous chatter about tariffs, prices, and parts. But on May 17, 2025, that whisper exploded into national shock. Ford announced it would shut down several of its most iconic U.S. plants. The Chicago plant, silent. Michigan assembly, frozen. Thousands of workers told to go home with no idea when or if they'd return. The reason? Not outsourcing, not automation, but tariffs. A sweeping 25% tax on all imported cars and auto parts. Meant to bring jobs back, it ended up pushing them away. President Trump's trade war had reached the assembly line. And the collateral damage? American workers. Ford's financial forecast collapsed overnight. Over $1.5 billion in projected losses. To stay afloat, they tried everything, raising prices on models like the Mustang Mach-E and Maverick by $2,000, halting exports to China and slashing costs. But it wasn't enough. General Motors scrambled to retool. Stellantis, parent of Dodge and Chrysler, idled plants across North America. Layoffs hit parts suppliers in Michigan and Indiana. The pain was spreading. Emergency pricing strategies, layoffs, and chaos, all triggered not by foreign policy, but domestic decisions. When asked about Ford's collapse, President Trump didn't blink. "They should have brought production back a long time ago," he said. "These tariffs are about America first." But in boardrooms across the auto industry, executives weren't celebrating. They were panicking. If Ford, the symbol of American manufacturing, could be allowed to fail, who was safe? The Lincoln Nautilus, built in China, became too expensive to sell. Nissan canceled U.S. orders. Toyota slowed shipments. Honda raised prices. The trade war wasn't passing. It was escalating. Soon, layoffs surged. In towns like Toledo and Kokomo, where component factories were gutted, entire shifts disappeared. Local diners, grocery stores, and mechanics saw business vanish overnight. In Indiana, labor boards issued unemployment warnings. In Michigan, mayors begged Washington for relief. And still, no change. The administration insisted the pain was temporary, that companies would adjust. But inside the industry, nobody was waiting for help. GM reassigned engineers. Ford postponed new models. Stellantis froze hiring. The whisper in Detroit was now a scream. Is this what America First really means? The North American auto industry wasn't built in a day. It was forged over decades. 3 countries, thousands of suppliers, a seamless system optimized for speed and cost. And now, it was cracking under pressure. Supply chains can't shift overnight. Tariffs made Mexican parts 25% more expensive. Canadian-assembled vehicles faced border taxes. Chinese components, from batteries to microchips, were hit with 30% duties. Prices surged, inventory thinned, showrooms emptied, sales plummeted. Ford tried to offer employee pricing to the public, usually a last-ditch move in a crisis. But even that couldn't stop the bleeding. The math just didn't work anymore. Every job gained in one state meant another lost in a neighboring one. The workers were playing a shell game, and the pieces were disappearing fast. And now, the big question. Was it worth it? Was the vision of bringing manufacturing back to America ever truly about workers? Or was it a political gamble paid for by those who could least afford it? Ford isn't gone. Not yet. But it's shaken. And the people who built that company, who raised families on those wages, are left holding the bill. If this is the cost of a trade war, who's winning? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think these tariffs helped or hurt American workers? And if you made it this far, do your part, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to know what's really going on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.